Hello, and welcome to Doncroft's Killers. How fun are they to play as tier list? Note I said as, not against. I don't play a ton of Survivor. About 7% of my matches are as Survivor. So I'm not your guy for telling how fun each killer is to play against as Survivor, as someone with a Survivor mindset. But as a killer player who plays all the killers, that's where I'm coming from. Let's start in order of release, starting with Trapper. Now, Trapper is going to not be that high. I'm going to put him in a tier I called False Promises. The reason it's called False Promises is these are killers where you think you're going to have a great moment. You think you're going to get that sick moment where two survivors step into traps at once, and or you've got this crazy endgame build relying on traps and one of his eerie add-ons, and it's all going to come together, and then it just doesn't. It doesn't work. You feel disappointed. So anyone in this category is someone who I feel they promise to be fun, but at the end of the day, they disappoint. Let's go to Wraith. Now, Wraith is an old favorite of mine. He's the first killer that I ever played, and he's going to go into usually a good time. This category is pretty self-explanatory. It means when you play him, you're usually going to have fun. But there are some times where you go up against a really good team, and they play on Wraith's weaknesses, that he's not good at sticking to chases. They're going to camp pallets or slow vault windows back and forth, slow vault pallets back and forth, so you can't break them, you can't vault them. And they're going to make his life really miserable. So despite being in usually a good time, sometimes you're not going to have a good time. And that's going to be for everyone in that category. Up next is Billy. And Billy, man, I want to love him. Man, he's cool. But he's so... His skill floor is so ridiculously high. He's so inaccessible to all of us mere mortals. His controls so asinine, so ridiculous, so dauntingly impossible to learn that I have to put him in False Promises. You think you're going to, maybe if you try and practice enough, you'll be able to do the sick curves. And you know what? Maybe you can, but I can't. 10, 20, 30 games, practice, bump into this, bump into that, False Promises, there you go. Up next is Nurse. Now, Nurse is a fun killer in my opinion. She's very powerful, but I'm going to put her in fun here and there. She suffers from a weird syndrome I'm going to call S+ tier syndrome, because most players or almost all players who are highly skilled at the game, who understand the game, consider her the strongest killer. When you lose as Nurse, it feels really bad. And you're going to lose as Nurse. You're going to lose as her because her power is very punishing to miss. You don't play it right. You miss your blinks. You screw up a few chases. Maybe you lose track of a survivor and you're just throwing the match. So that's why I'm going to put her in, not False Promises, but fun here and there. Because you always have a chance of winning. That's cool. You can use aura builds really well. She can use a lot of builds really well, honestly. And her power is cool. You can blink through stuff. I mean, it's the classic blink power that you see in so many video games. But she's kind of a mixed bag. Also, good survivors can make a mess of all but the best nurses. And then you just feel silly. That's what's happened to me a million times. Myers. New Myers is, I think, fun here and there. Let's see. Where should I put Myers? Yeah. We'll put him there for now. He's a bit of a mixed bag. He's not a great chaser. I mean, he's an okay chaser. Don't get me wrong. He's an okay chaser. You get some cooldowns with him, but he's very one note. Stalk, get your extra long lunge, rinse, repeat. There's not a lot to him, unfortunately. He's lost a lot of complexity because his build variety, in my opinion, has really suffered. I do think he's a better design now, healthier for the game, but less interesting, less unique in a weird way. Hard to explain. I don't have a ton of experience with New Myers, but that's where I'm going to put him for now. Hag goes straight to the bottom of False Promises. She's not quite painfully unfun. although some people might consider that. Like, you can have cool moments with Hag where, like, oh, they step into that trap and you teleport and you get the hit. Oh, and then they go into another trap and you get the 2-tap down. Oh, and then there's that person where you teleport to that person while you're slugging that person and you get that person, you get a hook and you're controlling your web and you feel like a mastermind. But that's just few and far between. The truth is survivors know to run through her traps and deactivate them. They know to wipe them away, and she's very one note. She's only good at one thing. She's a 110 killer. I don't know. She's just disappoints me. She's so outdated. She needs a glow up, a major glow up. She should be 115% move speed, in my opinion, at a minimum. But this is a fun tier list, not a power tier list. Let's move on to Doctor. Doctor has fallen off for me. He's still fun. I'll put him by the Nurse just to be fun. Doctor and Nurse together. It's cool when you deny a window or a pallet at a crucial moment and get a really sick down. My favorite thing to do with him is when they drop a pallet, but then they trap themselves, like on RPD behind the desk, the welcome desk, or in the game between a stack of boxes or something. You think you want to trap them on one side of the pallet, but you actually want to trap them on the other side, so they vault right into your electric shock, and then you're already moving there, and then you just whack them down, and that's cool. But other than that, he doesn't have that much going for him. It's mostly just shock and run around loops for 3, 4, or 5 times. Or you detect people with your shock, but you can't do anything, and his slowdown isn't that interesting. So there's moments of fun, moments of electric interest, but not that much. So that's why he's a lower tier. Huntress. Huntress is also fun here and there. I'm going to actually put her around Myers, maybe a little above him. Huntress has fallen off so bad. In theory, you're throwing hatchets, you're throwing them over obstacles, you're getting hit, cool hit after cool hit, you're getting that adrenaline rush. In reality, while you might be doing that, and I wouldn't quite put her in false promises, a lot of time you're just running around high rocks. And running around high rocks is not my idea of fun. Not at all. Or tall loops, and you just can't get your hatchet up. You can't use your power, and that's that. So she's fun here and there. She has little moments of fun. But holy moly. She is so outdated. She should also be 115. Next is Bubba. Bubba has fallen off a bit for me, but he's still pretty fun. I'll put him in usually a good time. Pallet density has really hurt Bubba's fun. A lot of time he's just a lumberjack sawing pallets in half. I mean, let's be honest here. That's what he does. You might be able to greed through a pallet and get the down on the survivor, but most of the time they're just going to drop. Maybe you'll get a big slug play going with eerie flesh, but smart survivors will spread out. He's not super fun in modern DBD. Now, he's got okay add-ons and such, and his sound design and his chainsaw and everything are a delight, but I don't know. Freddy's going below Myers for sure. Freddy is new Freddy is just so boring in my opinion. He's got a good kit. He's got some slowdown. He's got anti-loop. 2 different forms of it, actually. And he's got map mobility with teleportation. But we're talking about the fun. And frankly, hitting a survivor multiple times just to get the privilege of slowing them down when they're asleep a little bit doesn't really do much for me. Even when I'm winning with Freddy, I'm just like, well, this is boring. I won a game on Eerie of Crows with him. And I was like, this is freaking dull. Or maybe it was the Sands map. Either way, he doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Try him out yourself. Maybe you'll love him. He's got a great little cackle and such, but he's lacking. Pig is kind of cool, but you know what? I did prepare for this video, and I was planning to put Pig in false promises. Quite honestly, I don't think she belongs there. I think she's more interesting than Freddy. I think she's potentially more interesting than Myers. And it's because of one reason, her dash. She can use her dash a lot, pretty much all the time. And she might get some cool hits with it. It's not a false promise. Like, you actually can. You know, and her traps help her despite how weak of a killer she is. So you can play the game a bit more and force survivors to go running errands. So I'm actually going to put Pig in fun here and there. Like, Pig's, once you get good with her dash, I think you can do some cool plays. But she's going to end up on the lower end for sure. What a strange killer in Modern Dead by Daylight. Speaking of strange, you got Clown. Clown is kind of fun. He throws his bottles, and he can set up some cool plays on certain loops. The funny thing is, he's actually really difficult to play, to master, I should say. Not to play, but if you want to get really good with Clown, you've got to learn every loop, every bottle placement, the timing, your resource management. You get cool moments here and there, but a lot of the time, you're just a basic attack killer, throwing yellow bottles, going slightly faster than usual, chasing after a survivor holding W. And that's not that interesting to me. And because he's not as explosive as Bubba with the chainsaw downs, or as interesting as Wraith with all the different builds you can do, I'm going to put him a little lower. Of course, someone in my chat's referencing the Aranad 300-page clown guide. Yeah, good luck reading that. That sounds like a real page turner. No respect to Aranad, but how many people have actually read that? Like, good grief. You read a novel about a guy that throws bottles at people. Spirit's pretty cool. I'm going to put her above these two for sure. Yeah, I'm going to put her in usually a good time. And there's a reason for that. I want to put her in a fantastic time. I think she's actually really fun and rewarding to play. You feel like a genius when you outsmart survivors and get a sick down of Spirit. You slash the moment you come out of power, and boom, just hit them instantly. Did I say no respect? I definitely meant no disrespect to Aranad. Back to Spirit. The reason I put her in usually a good time is, what if everyone's running quiet perks? There's multiple perks that make you super quiet. And there's characters like Ada and Ace that are just stupidly quiet. When every character is super quiet, or when you have a map that doesn't have grass or anything for you to see on the ground, it just becomes annoying just to try to track the survivors and everything. So because of that downside, I'm putting her in usually a good time. Legion's going straight to the bottom. I hate him. Them. Her. He, her, him, them. Run fast with a knife. Injure people. And then be a teenager with a knife walking at people for the rest of the game. It's so dumb. Yeah, you can break pallets by vaulting over them with one of his add-ons. Whoopee. Survivors that know the counterplay to that are still going to do super well. It's just... You'd think running super fast and getting faster with every knife hit and slashing all around and would be great. And admittedly, he almost belongs in False Promises if the 5 hit downs were more common, but they don't happen. They don't happen. I've gotten like 3 5 hit downs in all my Legion games. I also have a axe rhino against Legion. Like, screw Legion. They're not fun to play as or against. I cannot stand them. If they were kill switched for a month, I wouldn't care at all. Except for the other people who like them, of course. Plague. I want to put her in usually a good time, but I think she goes down here somewhere. I like her a little better than Doctor. It's cool to shoot her projectiles over loops and such, and get cool hits or double downs. One time I got like a triple down with her. I kid you not. It was amazing. But yeah, I did. I actually did get a triple down in a basement once. I think I got it recorded somewhere. But a lot of the time you're just a tall, loud, basic attack killer running after loud, injured survivors. And that's not that interesting. Come on. So she's inconsistently fun. Sometimes she's just boring. Ghostface, get the heck out of here with this. I'm sorry. Like, I used to like Ghostface, but my MMR has come up so much since then. The survivor community has gotten better equipped and more knowledgeable since then. The level of play of Survivor is so much higher than it used to be. You're not gonna have a good time as Ghostface. This is one of those times where their power level, their like strength level, and their fun converge. Ghostface is the worst killer in the game. Almost certainly. He can't do anything. You don't have a power. You're gonna try to use Night Shroud and get in and get like sneaky exposed hits, and maybe you'll get it sometimes, but it's just, you're just a guy with a knife getting stunned and pre-ran and exposed nonstop. It's an exercise in torture. The only reason I put him above Legion is because there's some add-ons that give haste and make gens explode, and maybe you get to do something cool. Maybe you win a little mind game with Undetectable or a crouch, and maybe you do a cool play. Legion can't do that, so that's where I'm putting Ghostface. Bottom of the barrel, but not Legion. Demogorgon, he's fun. Where, though? This is one where I'm kind of waffling on. Like, you know, Clown can actually do more cool plays than I think. I think he should actually be above Bubba. Demogorgon is so straightforward. He's got a nice, varied kit, but there's not a lot of exciting things to do with him. He's very simple. He dashes, he jumps forward, he leaps forward short distances and injures survivors with almost the equivalent of a extra long lunge basic attack. And then he can dig holes in the yard and do a very diet version of what Dredge and Xenomorph and Animatronic and so many other killers can do. So, I don't know. I think he almost belongs in fun here and there, honestly. I love Demo, though. I love him because I've got a soft spot in my heart for him because he was one of the killers that I first played. The Stranger Things chapter, leaving the game in 2021, is what got me to get into Dead by Daylight when I did. I think he kind of belongs in fun here and there, but I can't bear myself to do it, so he's there. He stays at the bottom. Oni-chan. Finally, we have a killer going into a fantastic time. Oni is an adrenaline rush. You gather blood, you get your power, and then you just start cruising around insta-downing people. And unlike Billy, you can actually control him. Yeah, he's a little tricky around certain loops. Yeah, his flicks take some practice, but they're more accessible than ever. Behavior made them doable no matter what your DPI is, no matter what, you know, but basically peasants like me, regular players, can do flicks with him now. You can also overflick. You got to be careful. But yeah, and I know you can argue that, oh, what if they pre-drop and pre-run and you never get a hit? You're going to get a hit. Come on. Getting downs with an M1 killer is difficult, but getting hits, come on, you're going to get a hit. Blood will start flowing. You get 40% of your power or something like that every time you get a hit. Like, you're going to get to use your power. He's cool. I don't think he's going to be near the top of this category, but he's cool. Deathslinger, he's one of the reasons I play Dead by Daylight. He may not be that strong of a killer, but this is a case where strength and fun do not coincide. Deathslinger is just so cool. He's got a gun. He's got a spear gun, and you can reel survivors in like fish on a fishing rod. You know, like a fishing string. On a hook. Just reel them in and knife them. It's brilliant. And you can get all kinds of cool shots with them. Now, I wish it was consistent. For instance, some fences have big gaps in them, and on certain maps, you can shoot through those gaps, and on other maps, it's cosmetic. Like Guard of Joy, I don't think you can shoot through the white picket, porch railings. But on other maps like Dead Dog, you can. Don't know why. That's a little inconsistent. That's a small mark against him. But he is one of my favorite killers. He remains to this day, despite being not that strong. He's very fun. Now, Pyramid Head has fallen off for me, unfortunately. So many people said that they were buffing him when they did the add-on rework. Now, he needed that add-on rework badly. But when they reworked him, they nerfed his cages and they nerfed his base kit movement speed when holding his power, his like giant knife in the ground. You know, they nerfed it by 5% movement speed, which is a lot. So you get punished so badly for missing. So while he is sweet, he's on brand, getting double hits with him feels sick. One time I even got a triple hit with 2 downs. Again, I know, I wouldn't believe it unless I'd seen it, but you can do crazy things with him. However, his power is pretty easy to dodge unless it's in a certain situation. And he is just a 115 move speed killer. He can be pre-run to hell and back. In fact, he gets pre-run more than someone like Trapper, I think, because in order to use his power, he's got to slow himself down. So I think he's still pretty cool. I'm talking myself out of this positioning. Dude. Does he even belong in this tier? I'm looking at all the other killers. I think I'm going to demote him. I think he's fun here and there. I think you have really good moments with him, but the fact that they messed him up, I don't like how behavior reworked him. By the way, if you watch this point of the video, comment Ferret, because here she is. It's Teeny. She has been a complete menace today. She's always coming up and bothering my feet because she wants attention and treats. But she's already had some treats, haven't you? And I can't keep rewarding you for bothering Dad. So there you go. Type Ferret in the video if you've got to this point. Blight, straight to the top. The king of fun, in my opinion. He is outstandingly fun. Bouncing around like the deranged pinball wielding cane maniac with no jaw. Growling and spitting and spewing. And I mean, like, he is so much of what makes Dead by Daylight Killer great. Not only is he powerful, he's rewarding to practice and learn all the maps with. You can get a hit almost anywhere, and every time you get a hit with multiple bounces, it feels incredible. He can use a variety of builds very well. He has been nerfed. He's 110% movement speed, and I'll tell you what, I don't care that he's 110% movement speed. Yeah, you miss out on a few hits between rushes. You miss out on a few. Yeah, short loops are stronger against him, but you're still going to use your bump logic. His add-ons are good. I mean, what's not to love about him? I still am half a Blight main to this day. He's my only P100 character so far. Next, another banger and a controversial pick, I'm sure, the Twins. I think the Twins are super fun to play as. You are controlling a tall woman with a hook who can spawn a super speed, bloody little gremlin thing that scurries everywhere and can leap like a Huntress hatchet. Just go flying through the air like Superman. That's cool. Now, you don't always want to do a super long leap. Sometimes you want to back rev. A lot of the time you just want to back rev. It's much safer. And the survivors can kick him in the face. He's the only character where you die as killer. I have died so many times as Victor. Victor perishes, gets kicked in the face, and dies. Now, someone's pointing out they're fun but buggy. There is only one significant bug for the Twins right now. People think there's a million bugs. There really aren't. There's one. Yeah, there's some quirks with stairs and such, but and with blood on stairs. It's whatever. That's more Dead by Daylight than Twins. The only bug right now is that if Victor is latched onto a survivor, they can leave through the exit gate. That should not be the case. Regardless of that. That situation is very niche. Regardless of that, controlling two different characters at the same time, well, not, switching back and forth, being over here and then over there and going, oh, Charlotte's there. she's pointing that way. The survivor went that way. I should take Victor this way. And then, you know, herd them in and keep them injured and back and forth. It's such a fun macro game that is completely unique to Twins, and I love them for it. I think their gameplay is exceptionally fun for Killer. And that's a hot take, but it's my hot take. It's my list. I'm a Twins main. I love Twins. And that's probably not going to change until behavior destroys them someday by trying to rework them. I pray that never happens. Hopefully it won't. They better never get the Skull Merchant treatment. Speaking of reworks, Trickster. Trickster's kind of gotten done dirty. I think I'd put him somewhere in fun here and there. Maybe not, though. No, because the rework made him worse, in my opinion. Not worse than Hag. Not worse than Trapper, but worse than Billy, I would say. Jeebers. So, Trickster has a new scoring system where if you throw your knives really accurately, you get rewarded with, I think, faster reload, faster throw speed, maybe some other little minor effects, which rewards you for playing well. But I don't know. He's just really, they've nerfed him. They've made him 110 movement speed again. He only has 36 knives base kit. Like, he throws not that fast. He's kind of yuck, honestly. I don't like him. The reason I'm putting him in False Promises is because you can do some really cool knife throws with Trickster, but how often does that happen? Trickster. I think I've wasted enough time on you. All right, Nemesis. Nemesis is great. I like him more than Wraith. I don't want to put him in a fantastic time because he does have a few things going against him, but Nemesis whips are so cool. You can do the drag tech where you strafe around a corner and drag the hitbox of the whip into the survivors. You can hit over all kinds of obstacles. Once you get to tier 3, your whip is so long, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. Get all kinds of insane hits. Oh, man. I love him. The reason he's not in a fantastic time... No reason. Let's put him in a fantastic time. I've changed my mind. Nemesis is super fun. Yeah, his zombies can be kind of useless, but they can pop off too. And yeah, he can get pre-run and such, but he's so strong in chase, dude. He's so oppressive around short loops and such. Like, he's getting so many downs. And I feel like with a lot of practice, and if you're, hopefully you're running a build with lots of slowdown, because it does take him a while to build up. Like, Corrupt Intervention is pretty much a must on him. But honestly, he's such a cool character. And if you tunnel with him, people can't get mad at you because it's a meme, right? Tunneling Nemesis. All right. He's going in a fantastic time, guys. It's, I'm editing the list. Pray I don't edit it any further. All right. Next one. Pinhead. Oh my gosh. I hate Pinhead. I'm sorry. I have played him nearly 80 times. I have tried to like this guy. He's like Clown if Clown's bottles only worked half the time. And if they were way harder to aim. And if Clown had a jack-in-the-box on the map that would pop out and make survivors slightly annoyed every 2 minutes. And they had to, like, push the jack-in-the-box back in the box. Like, wow. No. Sorry, he's way too inconsistent. The chains break on nothing sometimes. Thin air, they just snap right off. He's got one add-on that should basically be base kit, the Impaling Wire. If you're not running Impaling Wire, you're going to have an even worse time than I'm talking about. Like, it's a purple add-on. It's basically an absolute must-use. And even if you do use it, you're going to have a lousy time. I don't know how people enjoy him. At least he's not these losers here. At least he can do something in chase sometimes. But this guy enrages me. And he's not even available. If you don't own Pinhead, don't waste your money. Don't spend $100 or whatever trying to get him, please. Just, it's not worth it. Thank goodness his perks became available. They're very good perks, though. All right, next up is Artist. Artist. She's good. I like her. I like her more than Pyramid Head here, so I'm going to put her up here. She can get cool hits. Snipes across the map. You can zone with her. She's kind of the queen of zoning. But, like, if you could more consistently hit more range shots, and if it wasn't so ridiculously hard to hit a follow-up shot, like, you have to shoot another bird almost instantly. You don't even have time to land to shoot 3 birds after a swarm survivor. You can't do it. You can't even do 1 bird and then 3 birds. You have to do 1 bird, 1 bird, and 1 bird, 2 birds, unless you have add-ons. And because of how restrictive she is, I can't put her higher than this. I think she's a cool design, though. Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me, chat. The locker counterplay is so dumb. You're telling me she's going to hit a cool snipe shot across the map, and all you have to do is hop into a locker and hop back out, and she might as well have not even fired? You're kidding me? I'm trying to think of a single other killer where you can just hop in a locker and completely nullify their power. I mean, kind of twins, but not really. Because there's stuff with Victor. You can camp them in the locker. You can even pin them in the locker. I don't know. In the future, I want to put her higher, but this is where she is right now. Unryo. Kind of boring, honestly. False Promises. Not the bottom of it, but the false promise is, oh, you're going to condemn people. You're going to zip around the map like One Pump Willie. Like this evil mastermind and condemn everybody. No, you're not. Probably not. One Pump Willie can do it. And it's one of those cases where, like, even One Pump Willie, like, you see him on Sadako and he does amazing things, but you see him on Spirit and he's winning, like, way easier. He's just destroying everyone. The condemn mechanic is a mess. She's been reworked too many times. Nobody even knows what she does. She had one, like, add-on, I think, Reiko's Watch, that was bugged for a year. She's so neglected. I don't know. I almost want to put her in fun here and there, but at the end of the day, she's just an M1 killer with a condemn mechanic that barely works and some teleports. Speaking of teleports, Dredge can join her. Dredge is her brother. This is brother and sister. They came out like 3 months apart. They're both spooky, go bump in the night type things and monsters. Dredge. Oh, poor Dredge, man. This is one of the cases where the killer being so gosh darn weak is making them unfun. Because, I'll be honest, even if you're a very good Dredge, if you're beating the survivors aren't trying their best. They shouldn't be losing to you. Even on Midwich, which, how often are you going to get Midwich? You can't even use map offerings anymore. Like, he takes forever to get it down. He gets ran like a dog. Pallet density hurt him. This is my boy. I used to play Dredge all the time. Pallet density has destroyed this killer. Just annihilated him. Back to the Stone Age. Plus, he's dependent on good locker spawns, and good luck with that. Wesker. I mean, Wesker's great. Above or below Nemesis? I'd say neck and neck. They're like 2 peas in a pod. Maybe actually a little below. Wesker is cool because he can dash and grab and throw survivors, but I mean, there's not much buts. He's fun. Don't get me wrong, he is fun, but he's less explosive than these other killers. I just feel like these other killers can make even cooler plays than Wesker can. Wesker can maybe throw someone onto the edge of a map and maybe get a 2-tap down. That's great. Slam one survivor into another, get a deep wound. He can do some cool stuff, don't get me wrong. Get a cool vault at a god window. And, yeah, he's got a great aesthetic, great voice work. I think the guy's name is Carl Fogarty, who voiced him and did 7 minutes. So that's Carl, Mr. Fogarty. And he did a terrific job. So he's great. I love him. I just don't love him quite as much as I used to. Palette density hurts him a lot. All right, Knight. Oh, what a load of bore. Oh, right next to Hag. Just a complete bore. I'm sorry. You send out AI guards and do pincer maneuvers, or you pressure one survivor remotely while tracing another one as an M1 killer. Yeah, you can use Carnifex to quick smash pallets. Everybody knows you can do that. They can play around that too and fake it. He's got a great aesthetic. A lot of the really crap killers have great aesthetics, like Legion, like Skull Merchant, who's coming up. But Knight, he's a snooze fest. I mean, let's move on. Skull Merchant, talk about a snooze fest. Holy macaroni and cheese. Now, I don't hate her like I hate these three. But she doesn't do anything, man. All the survivors have to do to avoid getting tagged is crouch and force a basic attack. That's all they gotta do. Just crouch and force a basic attack. That's not fun. Scan them twice and then make them crouch so you can basic attack them. Wowee. Oh, I'm undetectable sometimes. Wowee. Whoa. Twins is undetectable all the time if you run Silencing Cloth. Nah. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work. And, you know, even before she was reworked the last time, even before they turbo nerfed her, I still thought she was super boring. So now she's super boring and super weak. Here's someone who's not weak, Larry. Larry is very fun. I want to put him in a fantastic time. I do. Because on a normal map like Macmillan or even frickin' Crotus Pren, like any normal outdoor map with decent sightlines, even RPD's okay. But if you get Hawkins, if you get Larry's, if you get some claustrophobic map with short sightlines, you can't use your power. So I can't put him in a fantastic time. He's like in a fantastic time, except when he's false promises are funny. You know what I mean? Like he's too map dependent. That's what I'm saying. But I love his design. I wanted a cyborg or a robot killer for so long. And I played him a ton just because his design is so unique and so cool. I mean, he has a gun that shoots security cameras that tag survivors so you can teleport to them repeatedly and go into like super mode. It's cool. But you get Hawkins, you can't do any of that. You're just walking around with a janky knife. All right, Alien, Xenomorph, my girl. Top of a fantastic time. Don't know if she'll stay there. Some other people might pass her, but she is still my girl. One of my most requested killers of all time. Top 2, actually. And I've gotten every license I ever wanted in Dead by Daylight at this point in time. I have. I've finally gotten them. Xenomorph. I love the design of her going into the Xeno tunnels and popping out different places, as well as her tail attacks shooting over loops and such. It's a bit like Nemesis in that way, but I like her aesthetic even more than Nemesis. I love her hisses. Her skin selection's great. Outplaying survivors with the tail attack feels wonderful. Yeah, she gets burned with turrets, but outplaying the turrets and avoiding them can be fun. And even if you are getting burned out of your power, yes, it hurts her power level, but I don't think it hurts her fun that much because you can just break the turrets, go back underground, go back and forth a little bit, and pop back out, and you got your power again. It's not like you lose your power all the time. Oh, that's another thing. When Larry is behind, he gets EMP'd constantly, and he doesn't have part of his power. When Pig is behind, she's all out of traps, and she's limited in what she can do. Xeno doesn't have that problem. Xeno will always have her tail one way or another unless you're really hard committing to an M1 chase. And if you're committing to an M1 chase, it means you're going to get that down anyway, and you're going to get your power again soon. At least, on paper. Let's hope. So, I love her. I'm biased, but I love her. Up next, Chucky. Oh, man. Chucky. Below Nurse, I'd say. Yeah, below Nurse. Yeah. He's another 110. Like, he's hilarious. His voice lines are great. The fact that he's 2 feet tall is absolutely hilarious. He's a riot. But against modern DBD, modern survivors with all their their fast heals, their fast gens, their pre-running, constant exhaustion, pallet density. A little doll going 110 with undetectable that isn't really undetectable, with a dash that might get you a hit. He has moments of fun and his charm carries him. But you're going to have such a hard time when you play him, man. Yep, he was the first killer to ever have a third-person camera. Now we also have Krasue and Dracula. But he was the first. And he's the one that needed it the most. Unknown. Dude, Unknown used to be up here for me. But he got nerfed. Survivors got good against him. It hurts me to play him now. But where do I put him? Honestly, he does have moments of fun here and there. He has explosive moments when you hit a snipe or a shot through a ceiling or a wall or hit multiple survivors and get injuries. Like, he's great. But my God, he gets punished so hard for missing his second shot. And survivors can just dodge into you and force an M1. It's a lot like Artists in that way. I want to love him. His design is great. But he's so weak. He's so damn weak, despite having such a cool kit. It makes me depressed talking about him. He's almost in False Promises in my mind, but I can't bear to put such a cool killer in there. All right. Let's go on. Let's move on to my boy Vecna. Yeah, this guy grew on me hugely. He's going up here. Right below Xeno. He's got 4 different powers, and they're all useful. How cool is that? For a while, he was kind of bugged a little, where Mage Hand wouldn't do much, and the skulls felt useless, but then I learned how to use them, and they buffed him a little bit, and they made Fly a lot more accessible, so you can use it a lot more, and they made Orb more practical, and now with the state he's in, he's got 4 cool powers. He's absolutely on brand for Dungeons and Dragons with that spellcasting wheel. What a delight. And he's a strong killer to boot. Like, you can win. You can do all kinds of crazy outplays, and the survivors can outplay you. Honestly, he's a beautifully designed killer. And I highly recommend learning him and playing him. All right. Next up, Dracula. Dracula's right up with Vecna, honestly. Multiple powers, all useful. Cool interactions. The Wolf Pounce feels satisfying to land. The Hellfire, honestly, why play Pyramid when you could play Dracula? Dracula does what Pyramid Head does. Almost better. Almost better. Well, he does almost as well as Pyramid Head, but he's got 2 other powers to boot. Dracula's awesome. I'm not very good with him. I think he's still my lowest win rate, if you can believe that. Like, it's like 50-some%. It's terrible. I'm truly awful with him, but if I practice enough, I knew I could get a lot better. And his aesthetic is amazing. The fact that the Castlevania, Dracula's castle, is in the background of like the non-licensed maps when you're playing as him is absolutely radically awesome. So these two, even though I kind of crapped on them when they first came out, but they've grown on me, and especially Vecna's design has been polished up so much that they deserve to be up here. I could change my mind, but also the survivor interactions I think are great. Houndmaster, get out of here. Get out. I can't stand this killer. She has something in Chase. Sometimes even something fairly strong. Which is why I cannot in good conscience put her below these three. But she's a buggy, stupid mess. Is she supposed to be a pirate? This is our pirate killer? A woman controlling a glitchy dog? Really? With a cane knife? I want a frickin' musket. I want a cutlass. I want a yo-ho-ho yar. I want to throw a empty bottle of rum at a survivor's dead body and maybe puke a little into the sea. You know, I want a frickin' wooden leg. I want a hook for a hand. This ain't a pirate! What the hell, behavior? This is not a pirate! I don't know what it is. It's a dog. It's a woman with a dog. A glitchy dog that barely works. And what's the counterplay? Camp pallets. Pallet density. There's a million pallets. Camp them. Just camp the pallets. That's all you got to do. Camp the pallets. Or play in pairs. Camp the pallets. Shoe, dog. Shoe. Stupid. Ghoul. I don't know where to put Ghoul. I'm going to be the first to admit that. In my preparation, I have him here. Right above Wraith. And I think I'm okay with that for now. Ghoul is very cool. He can zip around the map like frickin' Spider-Man. He's basically got a grappling hook. And, you know, when you land a really nice long-range blood-suck tentacle hit on survivors from across, you know, from a huge distance, it does feel good. And when you get a really cool outplay where you manage to slingshot yourself right next to a survivor and down them before they reach one of the 10 billion pallets they have, it feels good. I hate playing against him, I can tell you that, but that's not what this is about. He's a solid killer. He's been nerfed quite a bit, though. He gets looped. And he's kind of annoying with all his screaming, constant growling, howling, gurgling. It gets on my nerves a bit. So, yeah, you can get the Rize, I think it's Kamashiro skin. So you don't have that, but you're not going to pay $15 for a skin. Yes, Kaneki absolutely gets looped, chat. You kidding me? He has to get an M1 down. If they're playing the loops correctly, he's getting looped. He can't do the kidnap tech anymore. He can't get free hits with his vault at every single loop. He just can't. You can play for the stun on him. You can use his Austrian against him when he's on cooldown. When his tentacles are up, just wait for them to go down and then run away. Like, he's got counterplay. I don't know. He could go up or down as I get more experience with him. So don't take this with a grain of salt. Animatronic, don't take this with a grain of salt. I'm quite confident that he goes in the middle of usually a good time below Spirit. Maybe above Spirit? Below Spirit. I think he's kind of like a better clown, honestly. Yeah, he's a more interesting clown. If Clown and Huntress had some kind of abomination as a child, not a pretty sight thinking those two together. But his axe is fun. It's got some serious weight to it. Drops like a stone. The doors are kind of cool. If the survivors were incentivized to actually interact with the cameras, that'd be a point toward him, but they're not. You can hit over a lot of loops, and you feel good when you land an orbital or land a shot just like over an obstacle. That feels fantastic. But I don't know. Animatronic's kind of limited. A lot of it's just hold the axe, hold it, zone, hold, zone, and then you still miss. And that sucks. And as chat points out, yeah, he's got the problem with door spawns being a little inconsistent. Which is a problem that a lot of killers have. Even Xeno up here has it. Okay. He's pretty rewarding if you get good with him, but not as rewarding as some of the killers I'm about to talk about. Not saying Krasue. So Krasue has grown on me a lot. Quite a bit, really. Quite a bit she's grown on me. I don't know if she really belongs in this high, though. In a fantastic time, though. I'm going to put her below Oni. She's kind of in the same ballpark as these guys. She's got an infection. Admittedly, it's still a lot easier to cleanse. But she can fly around the map as a freaking floating head. She's got 2 forms, and I'm a sucker for killers that have multiple forms, as evident by Dracula and a Xenomorph and twins. Like, I like transforming killers. They're cool. So, I got to put her up here. She is a little bit one note, so she could fall down with more experience from me. But in general, I think she's quite underrated. Getting the infections around corners and stuff is kind of cool. Getting that perfect lunge around a corner or around a loop is cool. Outplaying a body block is pretty sick when you get to do it. She uses a lot of perks really well, too. She's got some diverse builds and a great add-on selection. Well, I don't want to say great. A good add-on selection. She's got some real bangers. I'm not rock solid on this. She could shift, but this is where she goes for now. Next up, Henry. A killer I vastly underestimated when I first played him. I'm going to put him right by Spirit here. Now, I am extremely inconsistent with Henry. It feels like I miss everything, and downs take forever, or for some reason, I'm popping off and dropping survivors left and right. So maybe I need more experience with him, but I think Henry's design is very on brand for the show of Stranger Things. His power is unique. It's basically a nurse blink, where instead of blinking to that location, you... well, you don't charge it up. That's more Pinhead's thing. You just kind of place a marker on the ground, and that's where a big tentacle line is going to pop up. It's pretty easy for survivors to dodge, but he gets a fire every 3 seconds. So, and he's got great range and can hit through walls and hit through floors and do all kinds of cool stuff. So, I'm not ironclad on this, but this is where I want to put him right now. I think he's a cool design, just kind of frustrating. Someone just bought the gold DLC. That's good. All right, finally, Jason, the man. Brother, where did I put him on my old tier list? Oh, yeah. This is where I'm putting Jason. That's what I thought. Top 4, baby. Jason is one of my most requested licenses of all time, and my God, they nailed him. He might end up here someday for me. He might. I'm not ready to do that yet. But my gosh, he's got Xenomorph's tail attack, except for on steroids, shooting across the map like Deathslinger. Just throwing spears like javelins across the map, turning into fog and appearing here and there. Nowhere safe for Jason. And yes, great add-on selection. Jason, they absolutely nailed his presentation. His theming is perfect. He is, in my opinion, a perfectly designed killer. Let me delete this row. I might come down with Jason over time. Admittedly, I've only played about 7 matches as him. But I've watched a ton of other people play matches with him. He is sick. He can hit through the little gaps that Slinger can hit through. He can impale a survivor into another survivor. He can pin survivors to walls. He can make Sable open her big stupid mouth and stick a giant oar in it and pin her to a wall. I'm not a big fan of Sable. He's an absolute delight. So, there we have it, guys. That is my 2026 killers. How fun are they to play as tier list? And you know what? Overall, if you're not in the bottom 2 on my list, you're doing okay in my book. Like, all these guys are fun to play. And if I was better with Billy, if I could go into the hyperbolic time chamber and play him for 100 hours and then come out with no wasted time, maybe I'd enjoy Billy, but I ain't got the time. And Dredge, oh, if if lockers were good and there wasn't a pallet every 10 feet, and if it wasn't just, oh, you put down your shade, well, better leave the loop, leave the loop, leave the loop, leave the loop. And if Nightfall did something that actually hurt good survivors, he'd be higher. I love this guy, but I cannot, in good conscience, recommend him. Well, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got to the end, type Jason is goated, or Dead by Daylight's is no, or behavior doesn't know what they're doing. I don't know, something like that to let me know you got to the end. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.